Hi Flosstube, I'm Shelly and this is the Antique Needleworkers. This is a channel about cross stitch and a whole lot of other crafty endeavors. If this is your first time here, I thank you so much for joining us. I do hope you find something here today that tickles your fancy, encourages you. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We appreciate it so much. We consider you all our friends. And I'm just so thrilled that you choose to take a few minutes of your day and spend with us. So as you can see, it's me. Liz is just so very busy right now. She has a new freshman in high school. Oh my, we all remember what that's like. And, you know, the first weeks of school and adjusting schedules, and she's preparing to go to a retreat. It's been about 3 weeks since our last video, and she did not want us to drag on any longer. So she said, Shelly, please just shoot the video. So you got me today, but Liz, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. I spoke to her this morning. All is well, and she's just chugging on with that busy schedule. So anyhow, so you've got me today. So let's see, I think that I would love to start today with some congratulations. There are some of our fellow floss tubers who are celebrating some really big things, and I want to just take the time to celebrate those things. I want to start with Brenda and Laura. Brenda and the Serial Starter. Oh my gosh, love you two so much. So proud of all of your accomplishments and your time here on Flosstube. They are celebrating. They have reached 20,000 subscribers. What an accomplishment. I'm just, yay, hooray. I wish I had a cannon to shoot with confetti. So Brenda and Laura, congratulations. You mean so much to each and every one of us, and we are better because of you. So congratulations. What a milestone. So excited for you. Another one is Miss Carrie, Tiger Lily Designs. Carrie is just celebrated her 2-year Flossiversary. So yay for you, Carrie, my sweet friend. You have hung in there and stuck with it, and you keep us all entertained in beautiful bright color, and there would be nothing that would describe Carrie better than that. So Carrie, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. And the next person I want to celebrate are Nancy and Jenny, the Bougie Stitchers. Not this last video, but the video before. They just filmed their 50th video. And you know, they're both fairly new stitchers, just a couple years new. And I mean, what an accomplishment just to delve into the craft to begin with, but then to just put theirself out there like that. So, and I love them dearly. So Jenny and Nancy, love you. Congratulations on your 50th video. So excited for you. And then a little different kind of congratulations. Our sweet Miss Missy Timberlake from Two Needles Pulling Thread. She just welcomed her first granddaughter, Ellie, and she is now a lolly. So I want to say, Missy, I love you, friend. I'm so excited. Congratulations to you and to Grace and to your son-in-law, and welcome, Ellie, and welcome to the club of being a grandma. So congratulations, Missy. Your little new one is beautiful. So all of those things tickled my heart and really made me want to reach out. And I think we should celebrate one another. And I know that these people have celebrated with us, and the whole community does. It's just such a beautiful community, whether you're a stitcher, a floss tuber, a designer. Our community far and wide is so inclusive and so beautiful. So kudos to all of you, my friends. So those are my congratulations for today. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was some must-see floss tubes. Now, I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen or heard of the amazing Katie Strachan. She has Katie Strachan embroidery. I would venture to say that this young woman just could stitch circles around the moon. She is absolutely brilliant. I am amazed and in awe of her every time I see what she does. And right before she went out to the attic needlework to go to summer school, she produced a video where she showed one of her caskets that she had stitched that is just amazing. No one had seen it, and so she debuted it, and it is episode 54. If you have not seen Katie Strachan's video number 54, please run on over to her channel when you're done and check it out. Amazing handwork of Katie is just beyond mind-blowing. And she was a first-time teacher at the Attic Needleworks at summer school just over the last couple days. And Brenda and Laura over the weekend did their video, and they talked extensively about her class. And apparently her grandfather, 4 times back, her great-great-great-great-grandfather, had a housewife that someone in the family had made. And Brenda and Laura said that it was there and it was under glass and you got to see it, but she created a kit and a class that I believe is parts of it, and you could create a pillow with it. And they just said that she invited them into their history. Her mother was there, and they just said it was amazing. What I wouldn't have given to have been there. That is big time on my bucket list, and it's on Carrie Tiger Lily's bucket list too. So somebody call us and tell us how we can get on that list. So we want to come to summer school. That is just amazing. So catch episode 54 of Katie Strachan Embroidery. And then also, as I just talked about, Brenda and Laura, episode 99. This is one prior to the one that was just this week, and I apologize. Episode 99, I wanted to talk about, Brenda had shown her Teresa Lehman piece. Liz had showed on our last video some Teresa Lehman pieces that were all done in French knots and knot work. And they are just brilliant and amazing. Our friend Susan Coates that works at Keepsakes had showed them to Liz, and Liz was like, no way. And so anyway, she bit the bug, and Susan showed her just how simple it was. And she got a couple kits in, which I ordered a couple kits since then. They haven't arrived yet. But when Brenda saw that, she brought out a piece that she had made when she had gone to the Silver Needle back some years ago, and Teresa Vanette was there, Teresa Lehman, and one other person, Vicki Jeanette, I can't remember, but there were 3 people teaching, and in Teresa Lehman's class, I wrote it down. It looks like a little castle or a little house, and you embroidered the flowers around it, and it's 3-dimensional, and it's Brenda. Are you kidding me? It's gorgeous. And so I love that she brought her piece out in response to Liz showing hers, her pieces that she had purchased. And so check out episode 99 and check out their 100th episode where they just came back from the attic needlework. Those two, like, anybody's going to miss Brenda and Laura anyway. I mean, like, that's first on the list. So anyway, but you want to see the little piece. And even though Laura was back, before, I just want to say, Laura, I'm so happy that you're back home, and I'm still praying for your family. I know that's a process, but you stay on my mind. And so I just want to let you know that I'm so glad to see you back. But I'm so glad that you're back, both of you, because I waited with bated breath to see over the weekend the talk about their going to retreat. It was just neat, so fun. So anyway, those are some must-see videos that I think that you should watch. But there's some new floss tubers, and I wanted to talk about them as well and give them a big fat shout out. I had featured on my Instagram a few weeks ago, but I forgot on our last video to mention Katie from Sew Tattered, SEW Tattered. She has picked up the torch, and I believe she has 4 videos at this time. Katie is a doll face. She's a quilter. She's a beautiful stitcher. She has so many wonderful things to see and hear about. And so head on over and catch her videos. You will not be disappointed. And then as well, another new floss tuber is Beth, the Red Cross Stitcher. She's from North Carolina. And by the way, I didn't mention Katie is from Texas, but the Red Cross Stitcher, Beth, is from North Carolina. She is a stitcher, a quilter, a sewist, and she just had a lovely first showing on her videos. And so do yourself a favor and go catch a little floss tube with some of our new sisters in floss tube world, Katie and Beth, the Sew Tattered, and the Red Cross Stitcher. You won't be disappointed. Absolutely, absolutely love them. And so then another person I want to talk about is a new designer. Last time we talked about our friend Annie, the Proper Stitcher, had become a new designer, and we're so proud of her. She had sent us 4 of her new patterns, and then she showed out for market, and she has even more beautiful designs. So I know I mentioned her before, but I'm going to mention her again because I just love Annie so much. But you can find her on Etsy at theproperstitcher.etsy.com. So go over there and give her some love. But we have a new other designer, and it is the camping stitcher, Chris. She has put out 2 new designs. She does have, she has a floss tube. She's on Instagram and all the socials, but now she's hopped in, and she is our newest designer in the community. And I got her one of her patterns. She has come out with 2. I haven't picked up the other one yet, but this is called the Stitcher's Prayer. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen her on Instagram if you're on there. And it reads, "Now I sit down in my chair, my needle, floss, and fabric there. I stitch and calm my busy mind whenever I can find the time." Boy, isn't that the story of our life, stitchers? Like, amen. So anyway, do run over to the socials, run over to Etsy. It's thecampingstitcher.etsy.com. And check out Chris's designs. So excited for her, and just want to make sure that all of you, if you haven't seen this, head over and check her out. So I got something else that I was going to show in haul, but since we're talking about the camping stitcher, her husband has a Etsy shop as well. And if you're a knitter, this will become very exciting to you. But I have bought several pieces from them. But you know, Liz is our newest knitter. I'm so proud of her. She's just knitting her little fingers off. And she's not here, so I'll tell you for her. But she started taking some knitting lessons at the local knitting shop, Main Street Yarns, which is one of my favorite in our local area. And so, of course, I'm a veteran knitter, and, you know, we just want to help along our sisters as they pick up their crafts. And so I picked her up a few little amenities for her knitting. And I got them from Chris, the camping stitcher's husband, Scott's Mountain Design. And I got her, this is a turning yarn ball caddy. You can put a ball of commercial yarn, or you can wind a ball of yarn and stick it on here, and you just pull it. And as you're knitting, you just pull it and it rolls it. So, and there, it's just extremely well made. And so I got her this, and I can't wait to give it to her. And I got her a ball winder with this. And then I got her this for all of those fancy yarns that we all buy, and they have to be put into a ball of yarn. You need a yarn swift. So this was handmade by Chris's husband, and his shop is Scott's Mountain Designs on Etsy. And so if you're looking for a good swift, or you're looking for a ball winder, he has luettes, all kind of things. If you're a knitter, I would definitely, it's a candy shop, so go check that out. But since we were talking about Chris, I figured we'd just button that up all in one hit there. So that is, those are my shout outs of designers and Flosstubes and my congratulations and all the above. And so, well, how about a few life updates before we get into all of the candy over there? So I've been really busy over the last couple weeks. I have had a few messages, and yes, my Etsy shop is on vacation. I have something, a very big something that I'm going to tell you all about here sometime in the near future, but it has required me to take my time and put it there. And so for all of you who are waiting for my Etsy shop to open, it will open in October, probably mid-October. But for the time being, I am tremendously busy with something very big, and I will get back to fill in the shop here in October. Just please be patient with me, and I'm so sorry that your wait's been so long, but you'll understand when I tell you what I'm going to tell you here sometime in the near future. So, and then we've had grandchildren. 2 grandchildren had birthdays. I told you the last time about how we got a motorcycle for our granddaughter, and then our grandson had a birthday and we bought him a 4-wheeler. So my husband has like totally reverted back to being a teenager. As if we didn't have enough fun stuff, he bought himself a motorcycle, which can be ridden on the road or in the field, which is really, it's nice. My boys say it's absolutely smooth as can be. But when my husband was growing up, he wanted this particular 3-wheeler. Now, he grew up with all the things, and they quadded, 3-wheeled, motorcycled. It was no big deal around there. His dad, they enjoyed a lot of that. Well, he's kind of got a little froggy since now he's got all his little tiny riding buddies. And so he hunted down one of those racing bikes that he wanted. It's a 3-wheeler when he was young that his dad wouldn't get him. Well, got delivered. And I was up here sewing in the sewing room. I'm so happy I was here in my happy place, because he took it up to the pasture, and as my daughter watched him, he throttled that thing full bore and was racing across the field, full gas, hit 3rd gear. That thing, they called it the death machine back in the day. That's why they don't make them anymore. Up into the air, the thing goes on its back wheels. Backwards goes my husband. It goes that way. The throttle was stuck in the carburetor, and the thing is flopping all over the field, and down is my husband. My daughter runs screaming, thinking she's looking at her father dead in the field. I'm gonna kill him. You all need to pray for me. Oh my word. He's down in the field, then jumps up because he's afraid, because the thing's bouncing all over the place, because it bounced one direction, but the throttle's stuck, so the wheels are still flying around and round and round. So he gets up and he runs. My daughter, who is the baby and the only girl, is hysterical. I'm on a sewing machine. No worse for the wear. I had no idea. Up comes my husband to the sewing room and sits down in the recliner over there. And he's like, well, I got to tell you something. Oh, you people, you're so lucky he's breathing. I told him, I said, I'm glad it didn't kill you, because if I would have been there, I would have killed you. So anyway, nonetheless, life update, husband's not allowed to ride that anymore, and he's not going to. I told him my boys are not allowed to either. And my one said, Mom, I wouldn't get on that to save my life, because it would kill me. It's crazy. So there's been lots of motorcycle, 4-wheeling, 3-wheeling fun goodness running around here. It's almost like summer camp around here with the grandkids. And then they started back to school. All three of them are homeschooled. And so they're back to lessons, soccer, football, all the above. And so it's just been a busy, busy place around here. So that's what I've been up to. You're gonna see I actually finished a whole giant pile of things, and I said I was giving up shopping, and somebody needs to put me in timeout. Everybody had, what did everybody have? They called it, abstinence August. I need to have Shelly's in trouble whenever, lock her up. So anyway, but it's half the fun, so no, anyway. So anyhow, that is a life update, and so let's move on to fun stuff. Before I'm going to show you my finishes first, but I wanted to show you something that I had wanted to show a while back, and that was I had showed you that I had purchased this during StitchCon. It's an antique hanky box. And I had never seen a handkerchief box, and it's suede leather, and it's been painted, and it says handkerchiefs, and then it has the name Audrey, and it was from Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I have this on my, I have an ottoman with a tray on it, and I have it set up with my, the Carolina cross stitchers. Husband makes the wooden bowls with the lids. That's my Ort bowl. And then I have this, and I have my hoops laying on my bowl. But our sweet friend, Sylvia, who is running with needles and scissors. Hi, Sylvia, my sweet friend. When the girls came for the stitching day here and they all gave me gifts, I forgot to show you the gift that Sylvia brought me, because it's as if it was just meant for this. She brought me this. Now look at this. This is a hand-painted antique salt and pepper cellar. See? You could put salt and pepper in there and sit that on the table or take it on a picnic. Well, Sylvia, my sweet friend, filled it with my very favorite size 28 black and white pony needles. She made it into a needle holder for me. But was she correct? I mean, it looks so pretty sitting there. And so I wanted to quit forgetting showing you this. So I sat it right here in front of me so I wouldn't forget. So I wanted to show you that. And then I'm going to show you my finishes first. So, finishing frenzy. Some are things that I started and finished. Some are things that were already finished that you've seen, but that I have turned around and fully finished. So I will show you this one first. I made this pin cushion. It's so pretty. If Liz was here, Liz, I wish you were here to feel this. She'd say, oh, that's good. This has got like 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds of walnut shells in it, and that only. All of my beautiful pins that you are going to see today came from My Big Toe Designs on Etsy. Aren't they beautiful? Just stunning. This design was sent free with my Jane Parsons, which I got from the Wishing Thorn from Burgett. She sent this beautiful card. Now I'm going to have to do this very quickly. This is a free pattern that she's sending out, and it's collectible, limited to 500 pieces. So I'm not going to flip this and hold it because I want to show it to you, but because it's free, but it is a collectible. So you need to go to the Wishing Thorn and buy something so you can get one. So quick. But this is what it looks like finished. And I did this it's on 28 count because I did it in the wools that came with Jane Parsons. And as some of you have seen online, and you've heard me talk here, I'm going crazy over wool stitching. It's just, of course the shepherdess loves wool. I mean, seriously, why wouldn't I? So, but anyway, I stitched it with the wools that came with Jane Parsons because I think this will make a beautiful accompaniment to sit in front of Jane when she is done. The fabric that I used is from Ditta Sitar. It is from Laundry Basket Quilts. I used just a block pattern to do this. Then I used some vintage lace and buttons and then put the pins on it. And I am so pleased with this finish. And so I can't wait. And now Jane has to get done so that I can frame her and then sit this in front of her. So anyway, this is a freebie from Burgette at the Wishing Thorn. So go buy you something or contact her, because she's only going to give this pattern to 500 people. It says collectible to 500 pieces. So you want to get that. The next thing that I finished, I showed you just not too long ago. This was a free chart from Crochet Go Go. You can go to Crochet Go Go on online and look under their free. It's a free 2022 Rouge Gorge. Let me see. That is where you can look that up and find that. And it's this beautiful little bird who's sitting on a little bird swing. And I had showed you this before, and I did this on 46 count with all the called for threads. I just simply used DMC, and I finished it on this little tag because it was so itty bitty. Oh, let me move that. So itty bitty. And I finished it with some Lady Dot Creates pom-pom. I got a pack of 12 of these wooden tags. They're wooden, already painted. I got them at Hobby Lobby, and I think it was like $4.99 or something. And I think it was on Spring Shop, and I even got it 40% off. So this is my little bird piece, and do you see, just very whisper-like. You can see the little swing. It's just adorable. But I thought this would look really cute hanging off of a knob or something, or over here off of one of my shelves. So I just simply put some batting and finished it on sticky board and then mounted it onto the post. So that is finish number 2. And then I apologize, I do not have the pattern for this. I believe that I got this out of Just Cross Stitch. I think it was one of the ornaments from Just Cross Stitch, Christmas ornament edition. I can't tell you when. I think it was called Joy. It does say Joy at the bottom of the tree, but I just simply finished it. Now, it's on 32 count Lugana, and I think it's just white, just plain white. I don't think it was anything special. It's all the called for colors. I do know that. I know I didn't deviate. And I have showed these boards before. Listen, you can finish your own stuff. Starry Night Studio, Alyssa, you need to go check her out. I have talked about Alyssa before. She's on Etsy. She's phenomenal. She puts these little boards together and you buy them, and if I had this with nothing on it, it would look like this, but the bow would be on this side. All you have to do is mount your piece with a little batting, if you want batting, and on sticky board, and then mount it on there. This was so ornate, and then I had picked such a busy, I do think this was the perfect color board for this ornament, but it was so busy, I just didn't think it needed any pom-poms or anything else. I just think it turned out so absolutely beautiful. I love it. And I actually think I'm not going to put this on the tree. I think I'm going to sit this on an easel. I think it would look really, really good. So that is finish number 3. And then a lot of you, I've got a lot of emails about this, and I know that there's a couple people that are going to be really excited. I had done this Prairie Schooler. It's the 2019 Santa by Prairie Schooler. Of course, I did the sheep because, yeah, the sheep. If you know, you know. But I did this on 7 count Claustern because I had intended to make it into a throw pillow like they do at Shepherd's Bush, but wait till you see what I did. I turned it into a hanger. Isn't it perfect? I put some antique buttons on it and some old, it looks like ticking, the ribbon. I just put some homespun on the back. I put my little tag here and I'll tell you why. I cut a little slit right here because when I quilted it, I seamed it here and then I stitched in the ditch there. And so it created almost like a pocket. And I just thought I would rather not have to do extra sewing and add a rod pocket. So I just put a little tiny slit, and right in here is a piece of dowel rod, just I think it's a 1/4-inch dowel rod, and I just slid it in there, and then I just adhered my tag over it, and you'll never know that slit was there. And now this is all ready for Christmas, and I am so thrilled with the way it turned out. It is just adorable. This was just some fabric that I patchworked with from my stash. I don't even remember what it was. It was a charm pack. So anyway, that is finish number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my 4th finish. And I used all the call for colors on that. Now, my next finish is from Scattered Seed Samplers. I did this for my June prompt for cross stitch camp. And this is Mockingbird's Message Pin Keep, and it says, "When this you see, remember me." This is by Tammy Black, Scattered Seed Samplers. I just love everything she does, and I'm part of her Pin Keep club. But I didn't finish mine this way. I'm so excited. I did my very first drum. I'm so proud of it. Look at that drum. I think it turned out perfect. And Miss Vonna Pfeiffer, you are amazing. Thank you for helping us all be able to do all of our own stuff. Because I do all my own stuff. I don't ever hire out. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Hire out. Listen, it's not everybody's thing. But for me, I just want to touch, feel, do the whole process. All of my pins, as I said, that you'll see, are from My Big Toe Designs. I made my cording with the Krynic cord maker, and I just tied a bow and took a bulb pin and I pinned the bow on there with some antique buttons. And this fabric on the top and the bottom came with the kit that Tammy supplied. And I think I did put cording around the bottom, but I think it turned out perfect. And it's not lumpy that I can see. So if I can make a drum, so can you. Check out Vanna's tutorial. It is perfect. The worst part of the whole thing was, listen, I embroider too, but I don't know. When I went to do the seam and do this elongated stitch right there, for some reason I just was like, I don't know, I think I was tired. And so I pulled that out like 17 million times, but it looks good with what I finished. So I'm very pleased with it. And so my very first drum is finish number 5. All the called for, it came in the kit. So I'm so in love with this. I wish Liz was here because she'd say, "Shelly, it's so tight and it's so packed." It's got wool in it from my sheep, and it has walnut shells, and so it's good. I like a good sturdy. And oh, look at My Big Toes, beautiful pins. I mean, could you just die? I mean, get over on the Etsy and get you some. They're beautiful. Now, I love all of those finishes. Let me just tell you that. I love them. But this is my favorite. Not because it may be just as pretty or prettier, but it may not be as just as pretty or prettier to you. But it's tremendously satisfying, and it's tremendously, I'm proud of the next one. As most of you know, if you've been along with us a while, if you haven't, you'll learn now. I am a multi-crafter, but I am a fiber artist for real. I spin, I weave, I keep sheep so that I can spin my own wool. I have wool from all over the world because who doesn't want to try all the different types? I sew, crochet, knit, quilt, you name it, cross stitch. I have never, ever, ever, until I bought Jane Parsons, ever stitched with wool. Now, I needlepoint. Wool on a needlepoint canvas is very different textilely or texturally to me as opposed to wool through linen. And so I hit the ground running when I bought Jane. I can't brag on her enough. I mean, I just love that sampler. I don't know if well, Liz and I both said that it's tactile. It's the sound. Oh, the whoosh, when you pull it through the linen. I don't know. It's just amazing. But I am pretty much a wool junkie. I mean, if there's a way to use wool, if you knit it, applique it, weave it, I don't care. I'm all about it. And so I decided one afternoon that I would go, and I got some wool that I had dyed red. And I brought out my spinning wheel, and I brought my one from 1790. I know it because we had it investigated, the benchmark through the spinning wheel sleuth, and it's my oldest spinning wheel, and it's fast as grease lightning. That spinning wheel, I have even had, if you know anything about spinning wheels, I had the whirl, which is, it's a round gear, and it determines whether it's big, it makes it slower. If it's tiny, it makes it faster when the spinning wheel spins. And so I had a wonderful Diane Soper. She's in Dayton. She is a female woodworker, and she specializes in tools for wool and for people who do all the different crafts with that. So she made a new whirl for me, and it still was so fast. And I had new bobbins made for it because back in the day, you'd get one bobbin, you'd fill it up, you'd roll it off into a ball, put it in a basket, and spin a whole nother, and then do the same, and then you'd ply them together to make the yarn. But so we live in modern society. I had Diane make 18 different new bobbins so that I could just make. So I'm telling you all about this spinning wheel because she gets very little use because she's like a race car. And so it's hard unless it's a fiber such as cotton. When you spin cotton, the length of the fiber is only about 1 inch long, which requires tremendous speed. Flax requires speed too. But I found out that if you want to spin thread, which I had never done in my life, but I'm a spinner and I do know how to spin. And so I thought, okay, I had better set it up for a lace setup, which means that to do lace, you've got to do it fast so that the fiber, you can get it very thin. So I thought if I have to do that, I'm going to try out, I call her Gilly because that spinning wheel came from the bench maker, made it in the 1790s in Guilford, Connecticut. So she's lovingly called Gilly. So I brought Gilly over and I found that, oh my goodness, I found her purpose in life. I took that red wool and I began to spin it, and look, this is my thread. It's stitches just like the Avera Soie that I purchased inside my kit for Jane Parsons, which of course it's dreamy, so don't let me kid you. And I'm not going to spin all of my thread, but it was so rewarding. I did put on Instagram and Facebook my reel, and it shows the whole process of me doing that. And as a matter of fact, right here, I'm doing this so I know where to do it, but right here, I'll drop that video in so that you can see the process of me spinning this thread. then when I was all done, I took and I had this pattern from Sherry, Colorado Cross Stitcher. You can get this for free on her website. It's called Bristol Inspired Biddy. This is an inspired from a Bristol sampler, and it's supposed to be stitched on 46 count, and then you put it in this this little cabochon type necklace and mount it in there, and you wear your sampler. How cool is that? Well, that was my intention. But she had said on some of her posts, gee, I hope somebody maybe will stitch that on a bigger count and let's see what it looks like. So I thought that's the perfect, because I wanted to do a red sampler type item with the thread that I had spun on my spinning wheel. So I grabbed it and I knew it wouldn't be, I could get it stitched in no time. And this is it. And you know what? The finish of this, it was inspired Joe Florence 08, I think it's, or Joe Florence 8 on Instagram and Facebook. She is so inspiring, and she has a pin cushion that is a little red sampler, and it's in so many of her pictures, and it's so inspiring. So, and she even has these in hers as well. So that's how I was inspired to finish this. But I took that and I stitched it on 28 count because you have to, because of the wool. And I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And this is the back. And this is some Joe Morton reproduction calico. I love the old looking prints. But I think I've done some very, very beautiful, extensive, beautiful things that I've stitched in my life. But I think I'm just the proudest of this because I spun the thread for it. I mean, like, I don't know, it kind of shocked me too. So this is my final and sixth finish, and it is the Bristol Inspired Biddy by Colorado Cross Stitcher, and it's stitched on 28 count with thread that I spun on my spinning wheel. So proud of this. So you're gonna see it in all my pictures because I love it so much. So anyway, those are all my finishes. See, I told you, I mean, I went on a absolute finishing bender, but I hate having my finishes. I don't want them under the bed. I want them out and showing, and I want the stuff all over my house. So anyway, so now I'll show you my whips. I'm gonna reach over here and get them. You would think with Liz not here that I wouldn't have stuff all over the place, but let me just tell you something. I have stuff spread out everywhere. I guess I just took the whole quilt frame. So we've talked so much about Jane Parsons, so let's take a peek at her because I worked on her. I show you the chart. This is Jane Parsons' 1841 sampler, and you can get her at the Wishing Thorn. You can buy just the pattern, or you can buy the kit, which comes with the gorgeous Avera Swa wools. Let me show you some of those. They're scrumdiddlyumptious, as they say on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Beautiful fibers, just gorgeous. And I am in love with her. And I got a lot of good work done on her since I've seen you in the last 3 weeks. I got the whole border in, and then I began the top. The colors and the texture, it's just, they're just so fluffy. And it's just so pretty and antique-y and gorgeous. This is 28 count linen that came with the kit. It's cocoa, the kit says, but I'm not sure who it's from. But if you buy the kit from Burgett, you will also, you'll get the fibers and the fabric and everything with that. So I worked on that a little bit and got some good stitching on that, as well as, like I said, I was working on that and I had the freebie, and then I did this, but let me pull that back up so you can see how well I think that this is gonna go together when it's all said and done. See, I just used the just pulled the thread from the sampler. I can spare a little thread. Doesn't this look factory and just really folk-like? I just love it. So I started and finished this since I saw you last, but I had been working on this and I was pulling it out one afternoon and pulled out that little postcard that had the freebie on it. And I thought, oh, one moment, please. Let me do that. And I ran and grabbed some linen. And oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, but the fabric that I used for the pin keep was lamb's wool. I wanted to keep the whole wool thing going. So that was lamb's wool by Swigert. It's 28 count because you have to use that. So I worked on that. And then if you are joining us on our Antique Needleworkers Sal, the month is waning away. We only have a couple more days. And it's the Antique Needleworkers Friends Sal. This is our hashtag. And it is Stitching with Friends by Jan Hicks Designs. On my Instagram, if you haven't started this with us and you want to, you can go to my Instagram or my Facebook page and you can scroll down to where I talk about this and swap through the pictures, and I have the chart broken down. We started in June and we are planning on finishing this next June. I've broken the chart down into 12 parts. It's very simple to get your monthly stitching in for this because it's just little bites. The chart itself is, one second please, I'll tell you what the size of the chart is. It is 129 by 138, so it's not big at all. But if you'd like to join us, it's not too late. We've only done 3 little sections, and I'm going to show you right now. I've got it all caught up to where we need to be to finish our month. And that is this little part right here. We weren't supposed to do it. Now listen, this is our Sal. I broke apart the chart. This shouldn't be done right, this little piece right here. The first part was to go across from this point to this point. The second part was to go from top to bottom. Now the most stitching so far has been this bottom. This is the one side and this is the other. So this is the whole bottom frame, but isn't that gorgeous? Jan just, I don't do a lot of purple stitching, but I'm really excited about this. It's gorgeous. And so it'll never be too late to join. But if you'd like to join us in our Antique Needleworkers Friends Sal, do check in over on my Instagram and Facebook. Please, if you join us, or if you're stitching along, friends, use the hashtag and post your progress. I want to see what you're doing. And I am using all the called for colors, so it's pretty simple. And I'm using 36 count Zweigart Mocha, and I'm stitching 1 thread over 2. And these are, it only calls for 5 threads. 3 purples, a gold, and the gold is heirloom gold. It's gorgeous. And then Chesapeake from Weeks. It's very, very, very pretty. And so that is my progress on that. So I have my month done, my August installment. And so the next installment that will be is to just simply go from the bottom to the top corner, and then the border's all done. And listen, you can stitch that border lickety split. Just the 3 sides, they're nothing. It's just boom, 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 boom. It's very repetitive, and it's only at the bottom where that one piece was. And I was really tired when I started that. Let me just tell you. When I started the little section down here, let me show you. This little part right here. This is gorgeous, but I was a little sleepy. This one bracket, the light purple bracket, oh, I stitched it like 6 times and pulled it like 6 times. So just do pay attention to your little border down there. It's not that it's difficult. I just probably shouldn't have been stitching it while I was sleepy. And so anyway, but it's so pretty. And I'm so glad for those of you. I know that Christy Keith from the Floss Boss and Cousins. Hey cousin, what's up? She's she's flibberty gibbeting around. You do you, girl. Stitch wherever you want. You're inspiring. And anyway, she's joining in, and then there are 8 of us in our local stitch group who are stitching it together. And so we hope you join us. So that was something else I worked on. And then this has been a long time whip, and I'm so sorry. I really needed to iron this, and I apologize in advance. I didn't. The Jeanette Douglas Sew Together series. I've been working on number 3, and it's scissors and thread. I'm doing 4 of them together. And I got sampler was number 1, pins and needles was number 2, and this is how far I am on scissors and thread. I've got the scissors in, and I've got the birds started, and I'm using all the called for colors. Let me put this up here so you can see where I'm at. So I'll finish the bird and the little ribbon in his mouth, and then have the corner, and that should be done. Now, oh, I'm dropping things. Excuse me, I think I just dropped what I needed. I did. Anyway, part number 4, the next one, I will add to this. I had planned, there are 8 of these charts. I'm stitching this on 40 count Zweigart Mallow, and this is the fabric that I had a hate you attitude towards. We're not best friends yet, but we are acquaintances, and it's taken me all of this stitching to just adjust. I do have pretty bad vision, but I can stitch anything. I stitch 46. I can stitch on 56 using readers. Now I do use a 5.0 reader when I stitch. I have multifocal contacts, then I'll wear a 5.0 if I'm stitching 46 or 56, but this is a 40 count, but it's tight, and it has a flecking that we can't seem to get to show up on the camera. But anyway, I have actually learned to like it much better. I had said that I was going to do 2 of these with 4. I was going to do 4 and then frame it. I don't think I'm going to do the next 4 that way. I think I'm going to do the 4 and frame it, then do the other 4 and do them as pillows and display them next to the framed piece. I think I'll put it on an easel, because I just feel like these are so stinking pretty. I mean, look at those stitches, the specialty stitches in the roof. There, this is just such a beautiful piece. And Jeanette Douglas, she just is masterful with her color theory. And I love these, but I feel like once I get number 4 done, I think I would rather go ahead and have this framed and do the other 4 pieces and do them in pillows. And that way I can have like one piece with its accoutrement. That way I can have some satisfaction, because I'm really itching to have this out. And I'd like to do that. And I don't want to commit to 4 pieces on one piece of fabric again. I think it'll make a statement together. That's about it. But I want the satisfaction and the gratification of finishing the little pillows and getting them done and getting able to display them with the piece. So I think for going forward, the 5, 6, 7, and 8, I will do those as pillows. Okay, and then my last whip is in my berry bag. Isn't it beautiful? And I have, from the red box, the letters from Europe, I have in here. I've showed this before. This is Mathilde from Hands Across the Sea. Becky Parker, our friend, she gave me this at StitchCon. It was so sweet of her. I told that story on a different video. And I saw this in person. She was almost done with it, and I walked up on her. It's the 2nd year she's inspired me. And it was absolutely so gorgeous that I had to stitch it. And so I am stitching this on 46 count Brea from Needle and Flax. Since I saw you last, I got the whole, this is finishing page 1 right here. I've actually taken the border a little farther, but I haven't finished page 1, but it's the second line of stitching across. This is where page 1 ends. So I've got the top 2 lines on page 1 done and the border taken down a little bit. So I did finish line 2 for page 1. But this 46 count, I was talking to Rachel 2 days ago, and I said, you know, a lot of people, you know, including her, she's like, I'm not interested in stitching on 46, even though she dyes it. I'm going to tell you, her 46 count, if you're going to stitch on 46 count, you should get a piece of Needle and Flax, because it is wonderful. To me, if you can stitch on 40 count, you can stitch on this, and hers is a dream. It has such a good handle. Just like I said, I wear really good readers. So anyway, the called for fabric for that was from Tabby Cat, and it was creme brulee. And Christine Hollis from Hollis Hands Creates, hello from Bavaria, my friend, if you know, you know. She said, hey, Shelly, you know Rachel's Brea would look great, and it does. It looks so good on here. And it's only 2 colors. I'm using Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler and Wavy Navy. So all you need for that is 2 threads and you're good. So I'm in love with it. It's wonderful. And if you ever want to try 46, get you some Needle and Flax. And you won't go wrong there. It's really good. Rach does a great job. So anyway, those are all of my whips and finishes for cross stitch. I do have some other things, but I'm going to show those later after I show you my haul. Right now, I think I will tell the winner of our giveaway. On our last video, we were sent this chart to give away by a very nice friend of ours who has an Etsy shop. And the word for this was needle. You had to put needle in the comment section. And where did I write it? I know who won it. One moment, please. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Thank goodness. It is Linda Smart with 2 T's, 4429. Linda Smart 4429. You are the recipient of the Teresa Kogut pattern. So congratulations. If you will check the description box, you can see how to get a hold of us. Email me and I'll get that right out to you. And for today's giveaway, we are going to have 2 giveaways. One is this. This was from Fat Quarter Shop, and it was their Summer Cross Stitch Club pack. And it comes with the bag. Love these vinyl bags. It comes with the fabric. And as you can see, the fabric is 2 colors because if you see the pattern, it's called You Are My Sunshine. And it shows the sky and the sand. So the fabric, it does that for you. And so it comes with a John James needle, all of the thread, the fabric, the pattern, the bag, and it comes with the needle minder. And if you would like to have an opportunity to have this, the word that you need to put in your comment is fat quarter. So, and that is for this entire piece. And the second one, because you're such good friends to us, I thought, what a perfect giveaway. And that is In Friendship's Way from Blackbird Designs. This is such a beautiful book. This is where, you know, I have been stitching strawberries. This is loaded with little strawberries that you can bust out really quick. This was the one that I did recently that I showed when I stitched that when I was down in Gulf Shores and I finished it there. It came from this book. So if you would like this copy of In Friendship's Way by Blackbird, the keyword for that in your comment is Blackbird. Please like and subscribe the channel. You do have to like and subscribe the channel. And do not use the word giveaway or contest or anything like that. Just use Blackbird for the Blackbird or Fat Quarter for the Fat Quarter Summer Cross Stitch Club. And so that is our giveaway for right now. And so now I'm going to get into my haul, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to show you this first thing. A couple videos ago, Miss Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Laura. Yes, cereal starting and cereal shopping. Listen, I watch them. I've got an arm length, but I do it to them too. So does Liz. So it's okay. Friends enable one another. A couple videos, Miss Brenda had showed her Winterberry box that she got from Hobby House. She got it, and she actually, this most current video that they put out, she showed that she took it to the attic needlework, and she said it was perfect. She put a 6-inch hoop in it, the top tray, and she showed how she used it. Watch the video, you'll see. Well, mine came in since our last video, because back a couple videos when she ordered it and showed it, I immediately hopped on there. I mean, I was like, stat, shopping moment, pause. I grabbed another device and went shopping. But mine arrived, but I had to make mine really pretty too. So this is what the inside looks like, but the top tray that comes out, I wanted mine to be personal because I do want to use this to take to retreats. So I took my embroidery machine and I made a cushion for the top tray, and I think that it just turned out absolutely gorgeous. You can't deny whose box this is with that big S in the top of that. And I just think with a beautiful pair of scissors laying there, I can also put stick pins in there because I did pat it, not very thick, but I am going to be going to Farm Girls fall retreat, and Beth Twist is going to be there. I'm so excited. So my Winterberry will make its first showing when I go to Iowa. And let me show you as well. This is what the inside looks like. This is the large. There's a large and a small. But I also bought this. I thought my little ruler, I've got a little ruler right over here, and I'll show you. It's not the ruler that I would take. This is my quilting ruler because I'm sitting in my quilting frame. But you could put a little ruler in here. You can put your pencils in there, your seam ripper, things that, since I made my top tray fancy, I don't want to nick it, you know, and all the above. So I will put my stuff in my little, it looks like a little pencil carrier from school, doesn't it? It's just so absolutely adorable. And she said hers fit right down inside of here. She put a 6-inch hoop. I love a 4 to a 5-inch hoop, so we're good. She put a project and her thread in there. She set her tray in and put her scissors. She showed how she had a needle minder and things up in here. And she said it was the perfect companion. She carried this. And then Brenda, if you are watching, she took her daylight halo glow magnifying light. I always take my light because I need extra light to see. And so, but she has a case, and I think she said it was a knitting needle case. She didn't talk about it on the most recent video, but it's been way back in the day she did. And so I need to get one of those too, and I'll just toss my light in there. And then she just, you know, as Nancy and Jenny, the bougie stitchers, would say, Shelly, you're getting bougie. I think so. I love this bougie case. It is gorgeous, and it is beautiful leather, and the inside is suede. It is worth every penny of it. If you want to have a very special Christmas gift, you're just in the nick of time. Ask your special person or your kids and say, hey, this is what I want for Christmas. Or just get on there and shop, buy it for yourself. So that's what I did. It comes in red, but blue, as you know, is Liz and my favorite color. And while we're here, I did not buy this recently, but on Brenda and Laura's recent video, when she showed her case, she showed this beautiful little scissor case that she got from Needle in a Haystack. Kathy Ray, she owns Needle in a Haystack in Alameda, California. And she has this, I think it's a CNC machine, and she makes needle books and scissor cases that are amazing. And Brenda had showed her scissor case, and then she also showed a needle book that she had got Kathy to make for her, and she put in her book. And when she showed it, it reminded me back in 2017 or 2018, I had one made for me too. Let's see if I can get you to see. Oh, there we go. Do you see how it's etched? This is pearl, like a pearl, and it has an S on it. And when you open this up, this is a needle book, and it's got 2 pages, and I've got it filled with needles. I have one too. And I was like, oh, dang, that is perfect to sit beautifully on the top shelf next to my S. I'll put my other S and stick it right there in my Winterberry box, and I've got all my needles. But if you would like to check her out, go to needleinahaystack.com, and you can find all of her pretty handmade, beautiful notions, whether it be a scissor case, a needle book. Brenda's needle book it literally looked like a little book, and it's this resin, but this mother of pearl, I had it, and I had it in a different case. And you know, sometimes we have those things and we forget about them. And and I remember how much I loved and how special this was. And when she showed, I was like, oh my dang, I have one of those. Let me pull that out. And so I pulled it out. Thanks, Brenda. Great idea. So go to Needle in a Haystack if you like that. So this is, oh, I love it so much. I was so excited to get that. So then another thing in my haul was I had ordered Mary Alcorn 1764, the sampler drum from Hobby House Needleworks. This is their exclusive. This is gonna be the accessory that goes with the big sampler when they release it. And it comes, I got 46 count Thornfield. Well, the people want to see the linen. Let's pull it out. 46 count Thornfield from Needle and Flax, and it is jolly gorgeous. But Rachel, she does a beautiful linen, I'm telling you. And if you want to stitch on 46, she makes a beautiful linen to try on. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I bought this as a kit. Let me hold it up again in case I didn't hold it long enough. You can get this at Hobby House. This is their original, this is their design and exclusive to them. And then with the kit, you get the beautiful threads. So I got the overdyes and the little cute little Hobby House Needleworks bag. Now I can finally stick this in a project bag and get going on it because I showed you. Okay, that. And then, oh, Dawn, Gammas Treasures. I'm on a theme here. I've got my bougie box, my Winterberry box to go to my fall retreat. But Dawn made these stitching mats. Look at those quilted feathers. And it's on, this is a stitcher's mat to take to a retreat. Dawn did such a beautiful job. Gammas Treasure Shop on Etsy. You've got your thread bed, of course, your magnet for your needle. You've got your pocket to put your other things. You can hook your threads here and sit everything in your pretty box, and you've got your little stitching station. And then she made the little Ort tray too. You just snap the 4 corners, and there's your garbage can, your little Ort can. and it came with it. And she's done a couple of, she's had several of these, and I think she's done 2 runs. So keep track and follow her shop if you'd like a stitching mat. Just the feathers. I didn't know that I needed a stitching mat until she showed the blackbird fabric with the feathers. This is in quilting, that's what they call it, feathers. And it's always nice when it's not you who's stitching them. I can stitch them. Love that she did. And then I got a new bag from her. I got the big set. This is Tilda fabric. Doesn't Dawn just do a great job? And I'm not against vinyl bags, but I like a fabric bag. And of course, it has the Notions bag with it, and as always, the thread bed with the magnet for your needles. So this is so pretty. I think that I'm going to have to stick the Hobby House project in this because it just looks like it belongs there. So that's Gamma's Treasure Shop on Etsy. And then I ordered from the Farmer's Attic on Etsy. I got Autumn Splendor by Brenda Gervais. Is that not precious? I'm not going to leave it out for fall. I'm going to leave it out all year. I love it. It looks like lace work. So pretty. And then I got Be Ye Thankful. I got Home Sweet Home back in the summer, and I believe that these are part and parcel to one another. So they're both by Brenda Gervais. And then I got all of the threads. It's all shiny, shiny, sorry. All the threads. So I got those from the Farmer's Attic on Etsy. Oh, and then I showed you before on a prior video that the new dyer, those missing stitches. Well, I got the 40 count the first time, and then she put that she was going to have some 46 and 56, and I got so excited. And so she put 46 up, and I got 3 pieces. You can find her at Those Missing Stitches on Etsy. And I got Darling David is the bottom. Exceptional Eleanor is the middle. And then Wonderful Walter. They are beautiful sampler colors, but as you see, there's the rainbow so that you can really match your threads. Beautiful, beautiful job. Beautiful job. Love those. And that's from Those Missing Stitches. Check her out on Etsy. And then Liz and I both are members of the Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. And so this one's called The Golden Hour. This is a monthly subscription box. And inside, you got, this is a template for free motion quilting. You just put this on your piece and follow the lines. So let's say, I have a long arm quilter upstairs, but I do quilt on my Juki. And so, and I have a Husqvarna, but I do straight lines on there. But if you wanted to really consensually stitch a pattern and make it look great and feel confident that you were making it look like it should, these are tearaway quilting elements, quilting designs for domestic machine quilters. This is Scribbles Petite. This is great. You just adhere it to your quilt, and then you stitch on the line, and then you pull it away. It's just tear away. And there is your beautiful stitching. So, and they have other stitch patterns that you can do, and it is just so neat and makes it great so you can feel confident. Inside of it, we got some thread, and I wanted to say it was Aurifil, but I want to make sure that I'm not fitting glasses. Sorry. Nope, this is Metler. This is a 50 weight cotton by Metler. You got the thread, you got the quilt template, you got the fat quarters, beautiful fabric, and then you got the pattern. This is Sunray, and so you You do have to, what else you need to make the quilt? So you have the pretty fabric comes with the quilt pattern, but you need 3.5 yards of one fabric, 1 1/8 of another, 1 1/4 of another, and 7/8 for binding. But so outside of that, it's your background fabrics that you need, and your outer border and your accents. But you should be able to pull off this quilt with this and just a few yards of other fabric, and it comes wonderfully in your bag. And then they also have a quilt along that's going on, and this is block number 5. So you get this in addition. So you get 2 quilt patterns. And we talked about this on a previous video. Where are you for under $30? I think it's still under $30. It's gonna get fabric, thread, 2 patterns. How about you couldn't get 2 patterns? And the templates for your quilting, and then you always get a notion, and this month's notion is really cool. I've got almost every template that Creative Grids has, but I didn't have this. A 1.5 by 1.5 inch square. How cool is that? So you get a notion, 2 patterns, fabric, thread, and the quilting papers. Like, you're well on your way to a quilt there, and it's under $30. Go join the Sew Sampler Club. And if you have to get on the waiting list, it's okay. But if you're a sewist, a quilter, this box is worth every penny. So get you one of those. And then I'm super, super, super excited about this. I have been on the wait for this because, you know, there was such a huge smattering of reception. Susan Stanley, so she put together it's called the First Stitches. And inside this bag is everything you need to hand piece and hand make a doll quilt. Now, I do hand piece and I do hand quilt, so it's not like it'll be my first rodeo, but I was so excited to join in with everybody else. I mean, look, Susan made these bags to go with each and every one. It's your little project bag. So pretty. Look at those gorgeous vintage colors. You get a waxer, all the ditties, all the things that you need, even down to a little pencil. You get the pencil. Even the little template, she showed this on Instagram. She hand packaged each and every one of these herself. Everything that you're gonna need to make her beautiful little doll quilt, including the beautiful threads. And in the package, I haven't even opened it yet. I was waiting to be with you first. So I'm gonna put all the little notions in here. And then I'm gonna open my fabric pack with you because why not? How fun. So it comes bundled. It feels like if you went to a mercantile. It would be so exciting to get home. Can you imagine being in a different time and place and getting home with your brown paper bag and sitting with your beautiful fabrics? Here's all the beautiful fabrics and the batting. Everything you need to make this beautiful little doll quilt. And every bit of it is hand pieced, hand quilted. Look at those fabrics. Oh, I love the reproduction calicos. They're my favorite. Joe Morton, oh, just love all of it. Kansas City Troubles, oh, I just love it. And so I got my kit, and then you get this beautiful little postcard, and it's a little dolly under the quilt that you make. And then I can't show you that because that's a pattern. Then she sends some hexies to do some English paper piecing. I love English paper piecing. So what a beautiful curated kit. Susan Stanley, go to her website, and if you're interested, you can't go wrong. The sew along has already started. I'll catch up because I was waiting emphatically for that. Just so excited. I love to do hand work like that. So I got that. And then, oh wait a minute, I forgot to put my paper in here. Don't want to lose any of my pieces. And then on Instagram, if you are on the gram, Ginger Shull, Tina Egner, and Katie from So Tattered and I are doing a quilt along. They picked out a pattern and they so lovingly let me join in. And our fabric is called Cheddar and Coal by Pambuda. And you saw me looking a minute ago. Pambuda is one of my favorite. Oh, it's these reproductions, Civil War reproductions. Who could go wrong? But we're all making a a quilt together, and they've picked out the pattern, and we're all using the same fabric, and it is so gorgeous. But it sent me on a absolute shopping hiatus. I got a charm pack, and then I got all of this from Fat Quarter Shop. Then I had to get some of the prairie backgrounds. Who doesn't need good backgrounds? And then I was like, well, a layer cake isn't enough, so I got is it a half yard bundle of the prairie backgrounds, because I was like, they're so yummy. I love them. And then because I know I'm going to want to make something else again, so I got 2 jelly rolls of that. And then in case the quilt that we're doing, I don't believe, I looked at the pattern, I don't think it calls for borders. But you know, just in case somebody needs, just in case I need a border, I ordered 4 yards. No, this is 4 yards and this is 2 yards of this. And I could possibly use that for the back. But I will tell you this much about me and quilts. I am that girl who was taught by the little old ladies. And in the old day, all the backs were always muslin. And so I love the pretty backs. I've used pretty backs, but it's just me. I like muslin, just because that's how I learned. And it just feels like those old-fashioned quilts. Not normally, you might see feed sack, sugar sack, whatever people, they were make-do people, but normally it would be a muslin on the back. And so I'm kind of a weird purist when it comes to that. I might break my rule, we'll see, but it's probably going to be muslin for me on the back. But in case I needed borders, or in case I actually changed my mind, I bought enough, so I think that I can get a back done, you know, maybe a scrappy back, if not a full back. So we shall see, we shall see. So I bought that, and I'm so excited that the girls included me. And so I'm going to tell a little secret that only Tina Egner and I know. So Katie and Ginger, I have an embroidery machine. And so I am working up a quilt patch for the back for us. And Tina's I'm not going to tell you what it's going to say, but it will have each of our names on it. And that way, when we're done, Tina said, Shelly, isn't it going to be so neat? We can be 90 in our rockers, and we'll see that quilt tag on the back and remember the sweet fall that the 4 of us made those quilts together. And I was like, yep, I'm so excited. So girls, I'm making a quilt tag for the back, and it'll have each of our first names on it. And Katie, I understand that your mama is going to join us, so we're going to make one for her too. And so Katie, hit me up and tell me mama's name and spelling. Just, I need her first name, and we're going to put her on there, and we're going to make sure she gets a quilt tag just like us do. So that is going to be so fun. That's one of my quilt plans for later on this fall, after I'm done with the big thing that I'm going to tell you about sometime in the near future. So I got to get that done first. So so that pretty much is the cross stitch portion. So if you've joined us and the other sundry craft things are not your thing, I just want to thank you now for joining us, and say bye-bye. But if you're here for the long haul, I'm going to show some other things I've been working on. So anyway, I have, since I saw you, this is one of my project bags for my knitting. Isn't that cute? It's the socks, it's fall. Of course, I love when I feel fall coming, I want to knit because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll knit something and make it for myself. So I started a pair of socks because I love to wear Birkenstocks in the winter. But I mean, these are crazy, aren't they? I did a faux cable cuff on them. They're 100% wool. And Kathy, these aren't yours. These are mine, but I am gonna knit you a pair of socks. But so I just did a vanilla sock, but I did a fancy cuff. I did the faux cables, but then I had some people hear me talk about, I do a garter stitch wrap and turn, no pickup heel, and it's so squishy and so nice. I just love it. It's easy peasy peasy to stitch. I taught this to Carrie. She is gonna conquer sock knitting. So I got one sock done, and I got the part of another one, and so I'm doing it on 9-inch circular needles. I'll get it to where I need to decrease for the toe, and when it gets a little tight, then I use flexi flips, which are 3. It's not your it's not regular why I'm having a 54 moment. It's not your anyway, flexi flips. You use 3 needles, and it's so easy, but they bend in the middle. They're not stiff, and so it's still, you can boogie when you're knitting on a 9-inch circular, and then you just close the toe with a flexi flips. If you're a knitter, you get that. So anyway, so that's a pair of socks. I got one done, and I'm pretty about a third of the way done with the other one. And like I did the contrasting toe and heel and cuff and craziness, because you know, a gray sweatshirt, a plain pair of blue jeans, a gray pair of Birkenstocks, and some funky socks. That's my decoration for myself in the winter. And a sweater maybe, but anyway. So I did that, and then I made a new table runner for the table downstairs in the mill. Just did a cream muslin back. And I did do the quilting on my Juki for this, but this is, if you go on to, oh, Lori Holt, I'm having a moment, sorry. Lori Holt has a tutorial. It is so stinking easy, and it's called Twinkle Stars. If you go onto her YouTube channel, and then go into her playlists, and then she has one for tutorials, and every tutorial down to her crochet flower tutorial. She has tutorials for everything she's done. And this was in the Sew Your Stash series, and it was so easy. And I just love the fabric. It's a vintagey, more prim, red, white, and blue. And it is by Wyndham Fabrics. I have had, this is not as bright as it's conveying. This is a primmy fab. It's primmy. It's just not, it's got your creams, no stark whites, but it's really pretty patriotic. And I used this, I love this. And it says, let freedom ring, wave, old glory, stars and stripes, love that. So I used this, and I wrote it down for you because let freedom ring, where did I write that? I had to have notes for myself. Without my wingman, Liz, I mean, she always finishes my sentence when I have 54 moments and I can't remember what I'm saying. Okay, it's Let Freedom Ring by Wyndham Fabrics by Nancy Gear, G-E-R-E. But I've had this fat quarter bundle for eons and eons and eons. But I think this turned out really cute. Downstairs, not my big table in the kitchen. If you've seen the tour of the mill, over on the far wall is a farmhouse table, and I have some decor pieces. But on the holidays, if we have company, I will put desserts over there and stuff. But I think that that table, just so it's not forgotten, needs to have some, you know, little zhuzhing. And so I just, I echoed the lines. That's all how I did it. Just did a little quilting and then used the reproduction ticking. I love ticking as a binder. And so I made that. And so those are the other things that I did that were not cross stitch related. And so, whew, we're at 1 hour and 28 minutes and I did that all by myself. I had a lot to say, I suppose. So anyway, but I'm so glad that you joined me today. And if you're still with me, thanks for putting up with my antics. Liz and I will be back. She is leaving for Hobby House. Her retreat is the 8th through the 10th of September. And I leave the 10th through the 17th to go to Tennessee. So the minute I get back, Liz and I will pop back on here and we'll get another video up. But I was so glad that you came and joined today. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. If you want to be a part of the giveaways, use those keywords, Blackbird or Fat Quarter. Do like and subscribe for that. Be 18. And I wish you good luck with that because those are some nifty giveaways this time. So, but until we meet again, I wish you many happy stitches. Bye-bye, my friends.